I am here in the heat wave to talk about week 7, and week 7 is all about the NFC West. The Super Bowl champions live in this division, so shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. For those of you that don't know, this division consists of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers, the Arizona Cardinals, and nobody can forget about the Los Angeles Rams, mainly because they've been in the news, and that is what makes this division even more competitive. The thing about this division is they have 2 Super Bowl contenders. You have the reigning Super Bowl champions in this division. And then you have the Los Angeles Rams. And we all feel like after the move of Myles Garrett, the Rams are Super Bowl contenders. So this division is interesting because you still have the 49ers. And the 49ers to me are an interesting team because I'm not sure what's going on with them. I'm not sure if they have peaked. I'm not sure what's going on with the injuries. I'm not even sure what's happening with Shanahan. I'll just leave that for a different day. But the 49ers, I don't know what is going on with them. I don't know if they're going to be able to stay healthy. Let's never forget about the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals do have Jeremiah Love, so I'm interested to see what he looks like in the NFL. And the Arizona Cardinals are trying. They have some work to do, so I'll leave it at that. And then let's talk about these lovely Los Angeles Rams. We all know about the 2 big moves the Rams made to solidify that defense. Will it work? We don't know. And all eyes are on Aaron Donald. Is he going to come back? Is Myles Garrett going to have a running mate? What is going to happen with this Los Angeles Rams defensive line? The Los Angeles Rams defense is already good, but why not add Aaron Donald at this point? What's the worst that can happen if you add him? And that leaves me to the Super Bowl champions. Listen, they're Super Bowl champions. I love the way their team was built. I love every single thing that they have done thus far. Now, things get interesting because they just paid JSN all of that money at wide receiver. So I don't know how that's going to impact the team. I don't know how that's going to impact the balance, but I don't see anything that the Seattle Seahawks don't do good, and that is why they won the Super Bowl. Another reason why they won the Super Bowl is because of their special teams play. Their punting, the ability to put teams in awkward positions when you're punting, making your field goals, kickoff returns, punt returns. They are such an interesting dynamic team. Seattle being Super Bowl champions, the Rams ascending, the 49ers seemingly aren't able to stay healthy, and the Cardinals, well, they're building. The team that wins this division might just come down to who is healthier. That might be a big factor, and the other factor is going to be defense. What defense is going to be able to step up and stop an offense? What defense is going to be able to stop Matthew Stafford's offense? And what defense is going to be able to stop the Super Bowl champions offense? We know what every single team does well. We know who the real contenders are, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But you're not here to hear me ramble about this. Let me get into some clips so you can see all the people that I talked to this week. I wanted to interrupt your video just to give you a reminder to hit that like button, double check and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that are watching my content that are not subscribed to my channel. Turn on those notification bells, and if you feel like it, leave me a comment in the comment section below and I'll let you get back to your video. What else do you want to see from this team that will help you know, like, okay, you know what, this might be sustainable to see this going? Now, I know you want to win the championship again. I mean, sure. I get it. But like, what else is there that you're kind of thinking about measuring where you're like, if for some reason we don't, but this lets me know at least we're still where we need to be?
Yeah. So I thought about this one and more than the others because the cop out easy answer is, go back to back, repeat.
Right.
Of course. Yes. That's what all 32 teams want to win the Super Bowl. Yes. So it's really no different than saying win the Super Bowl. So to be a bit more a click or two down, it's like, what are the biomarkers that we have a shot to win the Super Bowl again? Right. The roster's there. That didn't change. We lost some talent, but like that, you still got Leo Williams, still got Byron Murphy, like still got Ernest Jones. Murphy. Yeah, exactly. You love Murphy. You still got Devin Witherspoon, Nicky Manwari, like Julian Love. This is a loaded defense. So that's like Batman protecting Gotham. We're cool over there. Like speaking of dark side, we're cool on defense. Flipping over to the offense, we get a brand new coordinator. Clint Kubiak does his one and done, but hey, got the chip. He's now with the Raiders as their head coach. Cool. We bring in this guy Fleury, who is the tight ends coach of the 49ers. So he's coming from the Shanahan-y, McVay-y, which is the Kubiak-y wide zone scheme anyway. What I think we need to see is, we lose K9, and towards the end of the year last year, teams were starting to figure out how to take away JSN over the top. And we had enough talent to spread it around. And just as that was happening, our run game got better. So we didn't need that.
So what do you think this team will do better? What do you think this team will do better than most teams in the NFL?
I would say put teams in compromising positions when it comes to offense versus defense. Kyle Shanahan, if anyone knows anything about Kyle Shanahan, the best thing, one of the things he does is spatial awareness. Now, let me just explain to you what spatial awareness is. Spatial awareness, knowing where people line up, knowing where, the different weaknesses of different players to get to certain spots, sports, especially when they're put in compromising positions where they've got to make a choice. That's what Kyle Shanahan does. So I think putting teams in different conflicting positions because of spatial awareness, especially with a Mike Evans out there and a Christian Kirk. I know Jake Tongas is going to, if George Kittle is not available to play to start the season, I know Jake Tongas will be there and he'll be able to do so and still be able to do some things. And he showed he can be a viable weapon.
Yeah.
So, with all the pieces that are on this 49 team, Kyle Juszczyk, I believe he's still there as well. So, one of the only fullbacks in the NFL. But all those different things going on, I definitely expect, the spatial awareness, and that's where I expect the 49ers to excel and hopefully take a little bit of the load off of Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. I love that. I didn't prepare you for this, but I'm 100% sure that you can answer this question. Who's the biggest competition for you? Okay, fair enough. Who's the one player in your draft class that you think will make the biggest impact, like the biggest immediate impact?
I mean, it's hard to argue anyone other than Jeremiah Love, right? I mean, running backs in the draft, process-wise, taking them early, there's a lot of reasons for not doing that, especially when you're a team that doesn't have your quarterback and you're kind of squandering their prime years.
Yeah.
But I mean, running backs in the first round have one of the highest success rates in terms of not being a bust. They come in and they're good, like at just such a high rate, and they're immediately good. Like the learning, like in fact, sometimes the rookie year is the best year of their career sometimes. So objectively speaking, it would hard to argue that anyone other than Jeremiah Love, in fact, he might have the most impact of any rookie in the draft class of any team, just in terms of being a guy who comes in and is immediately a star on his team.
I think that's fair. I like Jeremiah Love. You're right though. The Cardinals were in a very weird situation. My dad would say, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah. So that's kind of where that is. Is there a player that you all passed on multiple times that you think will come back to haunt you, or a player that you were kind of watching and you were like, get him this time, please. Yeah. And then somebody finally got him.
Yeah, in fact, he's a player that if we would have got him to draft him, we would have had to take him in the same place where we took Caleb Proctor, the defensive tackle I talked about. And that'd be Keontae Scott, defensive back out of Miami. He went in round 4, pick 116 by Tampa Bay. I did a lot of kind of research of the Cardinals in terms of their roster needs, but also who they had 30 visits with and meetings with the combine and things like that. And I did a mock draft that I published as a video. My kind of prediction.
I would hope. Let's just say I would hope it's CJ Daniels. Okay. Because again, we wanted a wide receiver in the first round, but we ended up waiting. We ended up getting a guy later. But I can't sit here and act like we didn't get Puka Nacua in the 5th round, or we got Cooper Kupp in the 3rd. Like, we've found these mid-round wide receivers and developed them to be great players. So hopefully CJ Daniels comes in, he makes an impact, and I think he can make some noise in that pecking order in terms of what we have on wide receivers. I love Konate Mudfield. I think that he's still developing. I'm glad we brought Xavier Smith back, even though some folks just won't let it go. He dropped the punt. It's over. It's a new season. They brought him back. And again, that wide receiver room has their roles. And like Jordan Whittington, like I mentioned before, there's guys in that room that you could see could be plug and play. Like Konate Mudfield, his route running, his ability, pair him with Devontae Adams. Then you have Jordan Whittington. He could run all the routes on the offense, but I think he's best suited to fill in for Puka Nacua, right? So I'm looking at this wide receiver room where CJ Daniels, where does he really fit? Can he play out wide? Yes. Can he play in the slot? Yes. Can he make the one-handed, oh my God, how did he catch that? Is he very good at tracking the ball when it's coming over his head and make these plays? That's everything that Stafford needs, because we see Adams do it on a week-to-week basis. We see Puka Nacua do it on a week-to-week basis. We need that wide receiver 3 that's going to come in and be a straight plug and play and be versatile. I think CJ Daniels could be that.
I like it. And when he went there, I was like, first of all, how did he get that far? And then second of all, of course, like those are like my two things, because yeah, the typical Rams draft, I felt like that was with getting him there. So is there a player on your team that you, or is there a player that you all passed up on multiple times, or that you just passed up on? What a division. There's going to be so many things that happen this season that maybe we weren't expecting when the season ended last season that will show up this season. Myles Garrett coming in, reigning Super Bowl champions, the Aaron Donald of it all. Do you think Aaron Donald is going to come back? I would love to know what you think. Also, like I've done every other week, every video is going to release Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central. It is going to premiere. I'm going to be in the comment section. And that is just going to be what it's going to be. But seriously, let me know who you have winning this division. Let me know if you have the Rams winning the divisions, this division, the Seahawks winning the division, the Niners winning the division, the Cardinals winning the division. What do you think about this division? What is something you're thinking about this division that I am not thinking about? I would love to know that. Also, I will add every single person's channel if they have one as a collaborator. I will also leave their information in the description so you can go look them up as well. But what are you thinking about this division? Do you think Aaron Donald makes a comeback with the Rams? Do you think he's going to lead them to a Super Bowl if he comes back? What are your opinions? What are your thoughts? I would love to know, because every day I feel like I feel something different, and it's just exciting that we're here. It's just exciting that all of these things are happening in the offseason, and it is really getting us ready for the season to start. So let me know what you're thinking about all of these teams in the comment section below. As always, I'll see you in my next video.